Hello, and welcome to Mind Your Head, a space for people to share their stories, talk openly and honestly about their own mental health challenges, and to give some listeners some comfort in knowing you're not alone. Before we get into today's episode, I want to quickly share something that I've been loving lately. Cooking's always been a big outlet for me. It helps me slow down, switch off, and put my energy to something creative. After a long day, it's honestly one of the best ways I've found to release stress and just reset. That's why I genuinely love HelloFresh. It makes cooking easy, takes the stress out of figuring out what to make, and the meals are actually unreal. So if you're looking for a simple way to eat better, enjoy cooking a bit more, check out HelloFresh. Use the code MindYourHead at checkout for up to $240 off your first 6 boxes. I've always asked my guests, what are your 3 non-negotiables for living a healthy and full life? For me, it's movement, community, and good nutrition. I've learned that what you fill your body with plays a massive role in how you feel physically and mentally. That's why I use True Protein. They're an Aussie brand doing things the right way. Clean, natural supplements with no artificial additives or fillers. Everything's made in-house in Sydney's northern beaches using the highest quality ingredients sourced from around the world. Whether it's supporting energy, improving focus, or reducing fatigue, their products genuinely help me show up better every single day. And just like Mind Your Head, they live by values I stand by. Be true, be you, and take care of your whole self. Jake, welcome to Mind Your Head, mate. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on today.
Thanks for having me.
I started this podcast 2 years ago, and you probably don't know, but I had you on my bucket list.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I think I came across, obviously we're on the sunny coast, and I love supporting, people on the sunny coast that are chasing their dreams and going after it. And a lot of the stuff that you guys do at Corrective Culture, I wish I knew some of that stuff when I was playing rugby, because professional sport, it's just so like one-dimensional, bench press, lifting. There's nothing to do with like mobility, flexibility, getting your core like strength going well. And I had all these injuries, but they were being misdiagnosed. Yeah. So like I had like they thought I tore my labrum in my hip. There was a bit of a pinch. Went down, had a scan. They're like, there's no tear, but I'm feeling like chronic pain there. Yeah. Then watching you guys, there was talk about sort of your glute strength and stretching and all that sort of stuff. And I'm thinking, man, I'd battled through like 10 years of playing professional sport around other professionals in their field. Yeah. But I learnt more in like the first couple of weeks of your content around like, around the body and stuff. And I'm thinking, where is this stuff? So that was like a main, motivator for me to have you on and chat more in depth about that. Firstly, mate, how are you going?
Yeah, good, bro.
Yeah, good?
Good, yeah. A little bit, like I said earlier, a little bit. So I'm off the tobacco now, cut out nicotine. So I'd smoke it through my vaporizer and have organic tobacco. It was costing me too much money. And my soul just said stop. So I was like, you know what? I'm stopping. So to be honest, and honesty is a good thing. I feel a little like spacey today, but it's good. And it's a good thing to come into the podcast and it feels good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, nice. So I mentioned before that we have met before. Yeah. And what I love about this story is that we met when we were about 12 or 13. Yeah. And, how old are you? You're older than me?
36, yeah.
So I'm 35 in a couple of months. So
nice.
It's been 22 years. And I remember this like it was yesterday. And it'd be interesting.
It's probably going to be a bad story.
And no, honestly, I want to put a disclaimer out that it's not a bad story. It's not an embarrassing story in my view. But do you remember in Alex where there used to be the water park there, the slides?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
I know where you're going with this, where I headbutted the kid down the slide.
Yeah, but do you know the reason? So what happened was...
Oh, yeah, I think I do.
What happened was I was with someone, like 4 of my good mates, and we were 11 or 12 at the time, and there was this bigger guy, and he was just being such a bully to us. And I'm not good in confrontation. Even back then, like I wasn't physically big. I didn't get any fights. I just wasn't confident in sticking up for myself. And this big guy was like cutting in the lines, and then he'll get to the top, and then if you got out at the same time in the pool, he'll throw your mat, like your slide mat, he'll throw it out of the pool. He did it heaps, and I was just thinking, what a fucking arsehole. Like, me and my mates, we all were getting pissed off, but none of us did anything about it. We were just like, sort of just getting bullied. And I remember one time, like...
Sorry.
It was...
gibberish.
This one time he did it. He was throwing people's mats out of the pool. Yeah. And all of a sudden I look over, and you have come over and just wailed on him and beat the absolute piss out of him. And he was massive.
and you weren't very big at all.
No, I've never been that
No,
big.
you've never been that big.
No.
And that moment has just always stuck with me because
It's so funny.
no, and you
Comes
got
back 20 years later. Like,
yeah, you've got kicked out of the pool.
Yeah.
And then this bully's just been beat the shit out of, and like he's bleeding everywhere. And me and all my mates are just like, we've never seen anything like that before.
dude, that's so
And
funny.
like, I think there was a couple of things that like stuck out for me was when I got into a fight, if I ever got into a fight, it would be highly emotional. I'll be crying, it would be anger, it'd be all these sorts of things. And then I'll be like hesitant because I was like, well, I don't even know how to fight. And I think what stuck out for me was the fact that I looked over and you've got this stone cold face, like you're in the zone, like, you know, and you fully committed to it. And it was just like, you knew what you were doing. There was no like emotional joy. It didn't look like there was much emotional, like heightened. And then all of a sudden you got kicked out and you were just like, you know, straight out there. And I was just thinking, it looked like an everyday occurrence to you. You felt so comfortable in that uncomfortable environment. And before we go too far into it, have you got a memory of your own
Yes.
that sticks out with you?
Yeah, I do slightly remember that fight down the bottom of the pool, but that was because I was with my best friend Jai, who now lives with me. He pushed in front of us up at the top, and I headbutted him. Like he was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I just headbutted like straight into his nose, and I just remember like him dropping and sliding down the dark slide. It's a pitch black red slide, so you don't even know where you're going. He would have just been going, "What the fuck?" I just got headbutted.
So he was doing the same thing to you guys.
Yeah,
He was being a bully. Yeah.
And then I got down the bottom, and then it was all. And then he was like, "Well, let's go now." And
right.
it's funny you bring up that, like, because I've always had this like I feel comfortable in situations of like adrenaline like that, and now that I do jiu-jitsu and I do mixed martial arts a lot more, I don't know if that's a great thing. I think that, like, you know, you always see people like, I see red.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, like, I could last maybe a minute or two, like, fighting, and that was cool. But there was later stages in life when I had been in a lot of fights that I had adrenaline dumped and I had nothing left. And when you get to that point where you're about to feel like you're about to die and someone still has gas, it's the scariest feeling in the world.
Oh, so you were too comfortable in it that you sort of lost the adrenaline.
No, I would adrenaline dump still, but I was comfortable enough that I could last like a minute of like getting angry.
Yeah.
But like, you know, compared to jiu-jitsu now where it's like you do 5-10 minute rounds, I mean, anger's definitely going to work against you. But yeah, like in saying that, like, I think I was very comfortable in fighting because my dad, I fought all through school. I probably had 100 fights, you know, but by the time I was like 15, you know. And that's not to brag. Like, I think it's gay. I think it's stupid. But that was, I don't know why. That's what I was like as a kid.
Yeah.
And it's funny to look back on now because I mean, it's still in there. You know, I still got the same neurosis, but I just know that that's not the path I want to go down now. You know, so I'd rather love like that creates pain.
Yeah,
that
you have that
creates
self-control and that self-awareness to understand that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I'm a small guy, man. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm small, and like if you really like, man, go to jiu-jitsu. Like you realize how quickly you are not tough.
You get humbled pretty early. Yeah,
I've been humbled I've been doing it for 10 years, and I still get humbled. A guy come in from Melbourne the other day and just humbled me, and I'm just like, I love that.
So why did you get into jiu-jitsu?
Well, I started boxing, and I liked boxing, but boxing was more like ego. I found like it was really like how hard can you hit and how hard can you get hit, and I ended up getting hit pretty hard, and I fucked my ribs up really bad.
All right.
But jiu-jitsu, actually, my friend Chris White got me into it in WA, and I didn't like it. I thought it was a bit gay, you know, like you're laying on the ground with another man in the missionary position.
It's close.
Yeah, you know.
You get some awkward positions.
And then I was surprised. I went to like 2 sessions when I was 24, and I was like, oh, it doesn't feel gay at all. Like, you know, like it's actually sick. It's like you're wrestling your brother on the, you know, when you're a kid and you're on the bed and you're throwing each other around. And so I got into it then, and I think I started to really fall in love with it once I dropped my ego and like got tapped a lot. And then I realized that like driving down the street and someone cuts you off, you got to submit. And I think it was more of a metaphor for life for me to really change. Like, I mean, I've been in one fight since I started. Like one proper fight in the real world, and that's it.
It's crazy you said that because I had Colin Oak on the podcast.
Oh, sick!
And we talked about that same thing when before he started training to be a professional fighter, he had all these street fights, all these fights. But once he actually, you know, started doing jiu-jitsu, all this striking stuff, he said he never got into one fight because he was sort of, he didn't need to prove himself.
Nah.
He knew what he could do, and he was able to be like, I don't need to do that. Like I could easily just walk away.
Dude, it cuts through the bullshit like a knife.
It does, yeah.
And it also, like, I know for a fact, if me and Kyle Noak get put in a room and we got to fight to the death, I'm losing that fight 100%. He's way bigger than me. I could be as well trained as him for 20 years, but he's bigger and he knows similar amounts, obviously a lot more. Yeah. Definitely with MMA.
He's a weapon.
He's a fucking weapon, man.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, like, it cuts through the bullshit and you're like, let's be real, you know? And why are we fighting in the first place, man? Like, that vibration is very low. And I fall back into that sometimes. I did 2 years ago in Japan.
Yeah, right.
And I'm human. We're all human, and you just got to take it on the chin and be like, all right, I got caught again today. Laugh it off. Next thing. More like a dog. A dog attacks another dog and then lets it go and moves on.
It moves on because you can't hold on to it.
No,
you can't.
We're human, man.
Yeah.
We're in the 4th grade, like Rum Dust says. We're just having a human experience and don't take it too seriously.
You ever feel bad for yourself, or you ever sort of resent yourself when you get in those situations? You go, oh, why did I do that for? I know better than that.
For sure.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Funny one was randomly, like, trying to give space to this person, and I pull out onto the road, and this guy flares up at me, and he's looking after a disabled person, and I was like, "Fuck you!" Like, and then I saw him, his eyes. He lost the battle. I could see that he was like, "Oh, this guy doesn't take shit." But then I kept going because my ego loved it. You know, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm winning this." My pride, everything was on the line. My blood was boiling, and I drove off, and I was like, idiot. That was like a year ago.
Yeah, right.
But the biggest thing I think about, even spirituality, like even the word now is so, it's like a cliche, but we're human beings, so we're spiritual beings. I think it's just being honest about the human experience and being honest about, like, being angry. There's nothing worse than when you see someone who's like, I'm so happy all the time. You're like, you look bottled up. You look like you're going to explode.
You've suppressed some things for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, what I really respect in humans is, like, people are just like, fuck, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm doing my best, and that's cool. And
it's okay to make
human.
mistakes. It's
that's
okay
being
to
human.
feel human. Like, the perfect thing is, like, when people say, no, I can, all this self-regulate, because I really struggle with self-regulation. Yeah. When I was a kid, like, I just could not. Every emotion to me, growing up as a kid, I let out in anger. Yeah. I did not know how to express frustration, jealousy, sadness, all this sort of thing. Everything just came out in anger, and that was the easiest emotion for me to access, to be available for me. And that can continue on till as an adult, where things that fighting, arguments with girlfriends or partners or relationships, whatever like that, I would just always blow up in anger. Yeah. Even though anger wasn't the primary emotion that I was feeling, but it was the easiest one for me to go to. And then everyone would be like, why are you so angry? I'm like, I have actually no idea why anger is always the thing that I come back to the most. Sure. Yeah.
And behind anger is sadness. Yeah. You ever, like, I mean, I'd get in a fight sometimes and I'd be so angry that I'd cry after it. It's like, what the fuck, you know? And then I'd feel like a bitch. And I was like, what is that? Yeah. No, if we don't have a good role model in our life at a young age to show us that it's okay to be vulnerable. And I can tell you firsthand, like, crying is such a good thing to do.
It's a privilege.
And I think like crying in a powerful way is important. Crying in a way of, like, you know what, I'm just going to honor this, I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to move on, and next is next. Yeah. It's all good. It's an emotion that we need to express. And
for sure, especially with boys. I know, like, us being, future dads, I think young boys, man, especially when we were growing up, that taught not to cry. Yeah. It just always suppressed that emotion. And I reckon before I started doing some personal development work and actually sort of thawing out the things that I was really struggling with and trying to put names on it, man, I did not cry. I couldn't name a time that I would cry all through my 20s. Yeah. And then all of a sudden when I actually started addressing some of the issues, man, I would cry almost every night. Yeah. Like, I'll go for a drive after footy training and just cry all the way home, wipe the tears before I got home, see my roommates. Yeah. And I thought it was like me spiraling down even more. But I actually, like, now I can look at it and go, no, that was actually opening me up, because it was years of, like, emotion. For sure. That I was trying to let out, but I didn't know how. There's a blockage there. Yeah. And once I started to release that, it was like kind of like a damn wall. Once I started releasing all the tears started coming out. And now there's sometimes in my life where I'm like, I don't need to cry to an ad on TV. Like, I need to block that damn wall again.
Yeah, but you can tell, man, like, your eyes, they say a lot. They're like, you got a sensitive soul.
Yeah,
you know, and that's who you are. That's ingrained. That's your innate self, and that's like, just honor that. That just needs to be honored. And I think like with me, I have that too. But then I have like this animal side as well. It's like, but I think it's important to just fully show that. Yeah, and fuck, crying, dude. Like, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's like, it's really frowned upon to cry.
It's almost shame around it.
Like, there is.
There's a lot of shame around crying.
And dude, a lot of guys want to.
Yeah.
A lot of the toughest guys just want to fucking have a tear, like have a cry and fucking move on. But
when you see someone like one of your mates cry, you never sort of, you always think, oh, people are going to make fun of you. But if you see one of your boys crying, you don't firstly go, oh, I want to make fun of you. It's like, oh, dude, like, come here, like, let's chat about it, or like, I have way more respect for you now that you've been that vulnerable in front of me. Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you a story. I went to HLC2 when I was 24, and I got into CHEK to be like a ripped guy. I was called fat by a chick, and I was insecure, and anyway, went to HLC2 to see Paul CHEK. Some trauma there, right? Trauma there. Yeah, I wanted to be ripped, and I wanted to be like, I'm only a small guy, so I wanted to prove myself that I could, last or whatever. I don't know what it was. But then I met Paul, and one of the first things he did was cried in front of there was 24 of us, and he cried in front of everyone, and he said, I just love my family, and I love my wife Penny so much. And he was like crying, like, and there was a class of 25 people, and we had just met Paul, and I was like, whoa, like, this guy's just crying. And then he's like, anyway, we got a lot to get through, so open up your textbooks to this page. And I was like,
hang on a second.
Wait, whoa. He just like, he freed me in that moment to cry. Yeah. He freed me for the first time in my life. I saw a grown masculine man that was like jacked and didn't take shit from anyone and everything, and just be in his power fully. And I was like, yes.
What a role model, eh?
Yeah, this is where I want to go in life. Yeah. It was cool.
We'll definitely get into the CHEK stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd love to sort of take you back to when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Because what the other memory I have of you is I think, because I got into the bodyboarding scene too, and like everyone on the coast that surfs or bodyboards, they know you.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing you out at, I think it was a massive swell out at Mooloolaba. I think it was a Dead Man's or something. And we were young, like probably that same 12, 13 age.
Yeah.
And me and my mate thought we were good. It took us like 20 minutes to get out the back. And then once we got out the back, this set came, and we were egging each other on. And I remember getting to like right on the lip, and I looked down, and it was like a cliff. It was like inverted too. And I'm thinking, this isn't happening. And I looked back, and then here you've come, same face that I saw fighting, but the same commitment. And you just go straight down. And I'm thinking, how the fuck is he doing this?
That's so funny.
And I've just like always looked up to those qualities, because there were qualities that I never had growing up, and probably qualities that I really admired and wish I had. And things that I developing later in life as an adult, not caring what people think, and sort of committing to things, and like all because you're scared doesn't mean it shouldn't stop you from doing things in life. Whereas that really held me back. So I think that's why I admired you so much.
Cheers,
because I looked at that and go, man, this kid's got it figured out already. Like at 12, 13 years old, it didn't seem like anything affected you. What was it like on the inside?
Oh, dude, I was dealing with my mum dying. I had a bunch of shit going on. I had, I threw an apple. Do you remember Wade Amy?
Yes.
Yeah, so I threw an apple at Wade's head at school in Mountain Creek, and then everyone in the school hated me. And I was a little cocky bastard. Like I got completely humbled that year, and everyone in the school hated me, and I'd walk through the school like no one would talk to me, dude.
Yeah, right.
And my mum was dying, and all I could do was fucking, just took it out in surfing, bodyboarding. That was it. So, I mean, I was going through a lot of turmoil in my head at the time, and didn't know how to face emotions and things like that. But lucky I had surfing, eh?
Was that your release? Because especially...
I would say so.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think rugby for me, because I was dealing with so much stuff in my head, that 80 minutes on a Saturday was my release. I could finally be free of everything. It was like the most euphoric feeling that I craved, because as soon as that whistle blew, I was just like, yes, like I don't have to think about anything else. I can just be me. I don't have to pretend to be anyone else.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the whistle blew to finish the game, I was like, oh, fucking back to being Elliot again. Was it the same for you when you were sort of out in the surf?
Yeah. Yes, in a similar way. Definitely. Was it similar to that? What did I feel like? When I was just so driven. I just knew that that's what I was meant to be doing at the time on the planet. and it was very freeing. I just loved how like I don't know, I let go and let God, because something inside me was fucking giving me the energy to go so balls to the wall with that for so long until I was about 23.
And what's the emotional cost with chasing your dream, chasing whatever it is, for, I think you said about 12 years? Because the thing that makes you better at your craft more often than not hinders your life as well.
Yes.
So there is a a cost of everything.
Totally, like, I mean, I fucking knew it, dude. I was going so hard for so long and so much cortisol and adrenaline until I was about 26. And I just knew, I was like, something's got to slow down soon. I could feel it. And yeah, then when I broke my leg really bad, and I was like, okay, that was the wake-up call I needed. But your spirit only has so much energy, I think. And then you need to cultivate energy. You can't always be going out. You need to cultivate the energy. So now I'm on a different journey of like, how can I energize myself and find the balance to be able to do everything I love still whilst being centered?
It's a juggling act, isn't it?
It's way more of a juggling act. I don't have that kid like, when I was 18, I was just like, whatever.
110%.
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Like go to a party, then we'll go surfing. Like, then we'll, whatever. We don't sleep. Like, so what's sleep,
I think about it now that I used to do, before I started playing professionally, I was working here, labouring like 5 a.m. till 5 p.m, driving down to Brisbane for training, train to 11, drive back here, get up for work, do it all again.
Crazy.
And I'm just thinking, how the hell did I do that for so many years?
Yeah.
Because now if I don't get an 8-10 hour sleep,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but back then you were just like, I think the thrill of it, or your youth, you had all this energy, but all the naiveness of like, I can just keep going. But what you know now about the body, like obviously it takes a toll on you.
Yeah, it does. And I think it's I think you're given like a certain amount of jing or like Shen energy like at the start, and you got to be careful the way you use it, because you see kids like they just want to go. And I mean, I didn't stop that until I was like 24. Like I was just fucking going nuts. Yeah. And then now I'm like, fuck, I'm jealous. Like, I mean, Callan, my business partner, he has that still.
Does he?
I mean, I don't even know if he'll ever lose that. Like, he's just got that in him, eh?
What a cool quality, eh?
Yeah, it's a superpower, I believe.
It is a superpower,
yeah. So that's cool, but I'm different. I'm going inward. Yeah, that's where I know I need to go now. Yeah.
What was the challenge and the journey like when you're a young fella and then seeing your mum sick, then obviously cross over?
Yeah, I mean, it was hectic. I remember seeing her really sick for 5 years, and then when I was 18, I was in Hawaii, and I got a call, and then she crossed over in like Nambour Hospital, and she was really sick. It was brutal, and her skin was yellow, and to be honest, like a long story short, because it's so like traumatizing for a young man, is only thing I regret is not feeling the emotion more when I was going through it. Like, if I could give anyone any advice, it'd be like, no matter what you go through, feel it fully and don't run. Go to where the pain is, go to where the fear is, and just go fucking balls to the wall. If you're going to go balls to the wall with anything, it's like face that shit head on. Like, if you're not feeling a relationship, you're not doing something, you got to face it. Yeah. Or get to the point where it's like, okay, that's not a problem anymore. Yeah.
Did you delay it?
Fuck yeah.
For
Dude,
years?
the funeral,
Yeah.
I was sitting in a chair, and I was like, they were burying my mum basically, and I was like thinking about waves breaking. I was like, don't feel anything. I remember a chick come up to me after the funeral and was like, let it out, you've got to let it out. And I didn't cry, not one tear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was there a time in your life, obviously there would have been a time in your life where you could finally process that?
Oh, it came out in the worst way possible.
In
It
what
came
way?
out depression, anxiety, panic
really?
attacks, yeah. I remember having my first panic attack at like 21, living away from home. And it was all unprocessed emotion. I truly believe that if you don't, your body will hide it. Yeah.
I don't know if we can share this, but I've got a good mate of mine. His little brother, they lost his dad to suicide 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's my good mate. He's sort of taken it down one road where he's got a mental health charity run club, and they
Awesome.
support movement.
Yeah.
He recognised how important movement is to your mental health and getting outdoors and active, and they have that community. His little brother has gone the other way.
Yeah.
Where drugs, alcohol, gambling, anything to sort of numb it.
Yeah.
We've had chats to him. He's tried to
Yeah.
have go to rehab. Psychologist does not want to talk about it. It feels like, this is my assumptions.
Yeah.
I'd love to get your opinion on it.
Yeah.
It feels like he is reliving the day that he found out. So he has a memory of his dad.
Yeah.
And if he decides to, quote, move on or heal or whatever, I think he's afraid that the memory or the love that he has for his dad will go away with it.
Yeah, for sure. It's such a multivariate thing, hey? It's like what do I say to people that are like, with suicide especially, is like, whoever said life was so serious? I think we're all gonna die. We step on insects all the time, they all die. And I think it's the samsara of life, like the highs and lows, the way it just goes around in a circle. So I had a friend come to me recently and said he was having suicide thoughts and stuff. And I said, has anyone given you permission to actually leave? And he was like, what? I haven't heard that before. And I only said this because I heard Alan Watts say that. He's like, when people know they can actually do it, they often don't. It holds them more accountable for their own life and stuff like that. But what I would say to that kid in particular is like, he's got his journey, right? He's dealing with it the best he knows how right now. And no one in his family is gonna say that. A story that I'll say was a very similar thing. My friend's son wanted to kill himself, and the mum was like, no, you can't, like, don't leave me. And then eventually, after 10 years of that, she was like, well, if you keep threatening it, like, I don't know what to do, and he drove his car into a tree.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he tried, which is gnarly.
Yeah.
But the whole point of the story is the mum and the son now have the craziest best relationship.
They do,
Yeah, they live together. And I was just like, isn't that crazy? It took to that. Like, I don't know what it takes. I don't have the answers for someone like that. I think that the only thing I can speak of is my opinion, and my opinion is you have to feel it. If you don't feel it now, you're going to feel it through drugs, alcohol, or you're going to mask it with that, and then you're going to feel it later in life.
Did you have those coping mechanisms with drugs and alcohol?
Not really with drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
The way I cope with it, man, was blocked it out.
Did you?
Yeah, I blocked it out massively until I was about 21. And then, dude, best journey ever. Just honestly, it's so worth it. Go fucking deal with it. Your parents dying, your kids dying, anything. You have to face it head on. But the best thing I ever did was get into the spiritual journey and figure out that it's like, that's the rawness of life. Like that's what makes it so beautiful. The fact that you don't know whether you're gonna live tomorrow. Yeah, you might die.
No, it's true.
But that's
though.
like,
it's like,
yeah,
that's what keeps us. It's the knowledge that we're gonna die gives us the drive.
Yeah,
to live.
Exactly.
If we knew we weren't gonna die, no one would ever do anything because they know there's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the fact that our life is finite is what gives us drive to accomplish things and to chase after our dreams, because we know one day we won't be able to.
I mean, I love life so much.
Yeah.
I love life so much, and I think that's the only anxiety I get, is that I love it so much I don't want to leave. So yeah, but with that has come a lot of loss. Lost my dad, lost my mum. Yeah, it's like, it's hard. Life is suffering, dude. Life is hard.
Is suffering? No, it's true, but do you think suffering is necessary?
Yes,
you do.
I do. I think that you're gonna suffer no matter what. You have to, because what happens if you lose your mum or your dad? Like, you can't go through that and be. Not in my lifetime. I don't feel like I can go through that and just be all happy about it. I had to grieve, and I had to suffer, and I had to grieve properly, and that was in my own way. So I don't think, I think suffering is part of it. I think you can be detached from suffering. I don't think you have to be the victim to suffering. That's where I'm trying to go with this, is like, I think you can be like, okay, there is suffering there, and that's going to probably last a while because I've just lost my mum or my dad. Yeah.
I saw a quote from Paul CHEK, who we'll talk about soon. He talks about painful gifts.
Yeah.
He's got a quote about painful gifts, and I'm just thinking, and he talks about some of the most painful moments of your life.
Yeah.
Often gives you these beautiful gifts, and it's up to you how you want to view it. So like you said, you can be the victim, and let it consume you, or you can acknowledge these painful gifts
Yeah.
and use it for your benefit.
Beautiful. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. I think it's like kind of similar to what I was saying about suffering. It's like choose to be a victim or choose to learn from it and grow, because there are some people going through some living the shit out of their hard lives,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for
the
sure.
best people. And that's like, I got a son on the way. I want to teach my son that it's like, you got to be, you have to suffer a little bit. You have to go through, like what Ram Dass says is suffering is grace. So suffering is what makes you grow. So whenever I'm feeling pain or anything like that, I always try and remind myself, this is a growth period.
We're gonna get better.
Be grateful for it
Yeah.
and grow from it.
Yeah, for sure. How did you get into CHEK? Paul CHEK's work?
I broke my back when I was 19 in Hawaii, and I had like
Bodyboarding?
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. It was a gradual injury, a spondylolisthesis, L5S1, which is just the bottom vertebrae where it slips forward and you fracture your spine. Anyway, I knew of Paul CHEK through my friend Scott Rigby, who's Sleeping Dragon on Instagram. He's just a wild cat. He was a stunt man, and we used to get in fights together. Like he was just like a real boy's boy
Is he from the coast?
from the Gold Coast.
Gold Coast, yeah.
Yeah, and he was a brawler, and he's like, I'll just smack this guy in the head if he's like, and I loved that. That's what I really resonated with at the time.
I bet.
But then he'd go do that. He'd steal cars, like everything, and then he'd be like, oh, I don't drink Coca-Cola. I drink water with the total dissolved solids of like 220, and then he'd be like, working with Mick Fanning, helping Mick Fanning surf with Jan Carton, and then working on his posture and his diet, like doing a cleanse. He did all that stuff when he was really young, and I think I was about 18 or 17 when I first heard about it off him, and then it took me about till I was 19 living with him in WA, and he told me to get off the Coca-Cola. That's where I first heard about CHEK. But then when I broke my back, I was gonna go see Paul, and it was about 15 grand to see him.
Wow.
And I couldn't get in. He was booked out.
Yeah, I bet.
I heard that he was completely booked out for like a year, and he was
If people are listening now, if you could explain CHEK, the institute, exactly what he does in the simplest way, what would you say?
So Paul CHEK is a visionary. I think he's like one of the smartest people who's studied the body on the planet to ever live and to have ever lived. Like, he's just like
He's a genius.
He's a genius, man. And he studied, Shirley Simon's way. If you want to listen to a good podcast, I think it's his 60th birthday. He did a 5-hour podcast on his body of work, on how much he's actually studied, and it's just crazy, man. And I've seen how he lives. He's unbelievable. So Paul CHEK studied the body massively for about 35 years, I think, just head to toe, and he came up with the CHEK system, which is like a totem pole of. It's a very large thing. So there's the mental emotional side, and there's the integrated movement side, and you can't have one without the other, which I learned.
Yeah.
But it's hard to really explain to people what CHEK is, but let's just say like a very, very advanced osteo physio with gurniometry tools that can measure the body and see the body in a whole different light to a lot of people can.
Was that when you first realised? Because it's something that I've been probably since you guys put me onto him.
Yeah.
With all the content you guys share, and then I was like, I got to check this guy out.
Yeah.
And you go down the rabbit hole with everything that he's saying, and it resonates with me so much. Not just the body movement, but how emotions you can also affect your physical body.
Yeah.
So, an example for me was I went through a really stressful family drama that I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
That coincided with my gut health.
Yeah.
So a lot of stress that went on for almost a year, and then I started to get like all these gut issues. And I went and saw a naturopath and did a microbiome test done, and had leaky gut and irritable bowel, and I had all these parasites and all these things. And I did a cleanse, I got herbal medicine, got it all done. But the biggest change that I saw was me learning to forgive, let go, accept the present for what it is, and knowing that I can't change it.
Yeah.
That's when I saw my body sort of return back to a state that I was comfortable with. And it just made me wonder, and all the stuff that Paul talks about, how, if you suppress it long enough, it's going to come out in a physical form. Is that one of the biggest lessons sort of you learned?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, hugely. And that's what made me finally understand dealing with mum dying was so important. 100% that gut thing would be mental emotional too. And a lot of people don't realize that, and a lot of people never even link that in. I think that's why the CHEK system's so good, especially the holistic lifestyle coaching side of it. You get like a health appraisal to. There's a story of Paul. He put a chick up on the Atlas scale, so you have these two scales to tell whether your top cervical vertebrae is out, and you stand up on it, and he's very like clairvoyant, so he can really tap into people's energy, which is very, very freaky. But she was up there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, your Atlas is out." He's like, "I want you to put your hand over your uterus, around your uterus area, and I want you to tell your uterus that you love it and you forgive it and that everything's okay, and that everyone in the whole class saw the scales go to even." So that's just a good example of how sometimes the mental emotional is affecting the physical. And what's crazy, man, you want to flip it around too. So I had a girl come in the other day and she's like, "I feel really different. I've opened my heart up for the first time and I feel really different, and it's kind of feels scary." And all I've done is really just a lot of stretches and stuff to open her chest up to allow her heart to open. And that's what's cool. You change the body, it changes the mental emotional. Yeah. They work with each other.
Yeah,
so
it's not one without the other.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, we're spiritual beings. It's like we're made of energy.
Yeah. I think that's and it's bizarre to me that what he practices and what he teaches isn't common knowledge.
Yeah,
you know? Like
it can be very woo-woo for people.
I've sort of noticed that it's almost not frowned upon, but it's just like he's off on his own thing, doing his own thing. This is like the fitness industry, or this is the gym culture, or this is how you rehab yourself properly. He's doing his own thing, and I'm thinking, no. Like I think he's deserves to be in the spotlight more.
Oh, for sure. I believe I remember when I first started watching his stuff, Better Butt, Better Back, when I was like 19 years old, and I was just like, how is this guy not bigger than he is?
Yeah.
And when I got the opportunity to start studying CHEK, I was like, man, this is a license to print money, and I still believe that. Yeah. I still believe it's not even scratching the surface of how big CHEK could really go.
Yeah, for sure.
Paul's teachings are unbelievable, and they're light years ahead of everyone, man.
For sure.
Absolutely. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, you can say you're the best physio in the world, but if you don't study goniometry and understand how the body, and there is good physios that do that, so I'm not saying that all physios, but it's just like, if you're not doing that, you're behind. Yeah. How can you not take a measurement of someone and understand body?
Because I saw a video where he talks about people with sciatic sort of nerve
Yes,
pain.
yeah.
And he's talked about people that you need to learn to forgive yourself first, and then that sciatic will obviously go. And I'm thinking, you got to learn to forgive yourself. He talks, talks about this stuff.
Yeah.
That's why the sciatic in that girl's case was coming along, and he barely even treated her physical body, but talked about the things that was happening in her life, and really like got involved in like, okay, what's going on? Yeah. This is the situation. All right, you got to learn to forgive yourself.
Dude.
And I was blown away.
It's massive. And then you get, it'll blow your mind the more you get into it. Like he says, he's like, the quickest way to healing is to be brutally fucking honest with yourself. Are you happy in your relationship? Are you living your dream? Are you living someone else's dream? Are you prostituting yourself? Like, get honest with yourself and figure out what it is you're here for. And if you're not happy, get the fuck out of there. Yeah. Change it now, today. And that takes a spiritual warrior to do that.
This episode is brought to you by TLC Recovery Centre on the Sunshine Coast. Head to TLC Sunshine Coast, use the code TLC15MYH to receive 15% off and experience it for yourself.
It takes a lot of guts and courage, especially in today's society where the safest thing to do is just to keep going along and being comfortable in that thing, because the unknown's scary, and like, starting a business, even though you could see a dream down the future, just starting something is scary. Starting a podcast is scary, and knowing that people might make fun of you, or people might laugh at you, or like,
for sure,
it's outside your comfort zone. You just got to accept that's part of starting something new. Yeah. The criticism, I'm sure, like, what was it like starting Corrective Culture? Like,
scary as fuck. It's still scary. Like, I gotta say, like, the first time I put a video out, I was like, my heart was pumping, dude. I was so nervous. I was like, cunts are gonna hate this, and then like, you just get comfortable with it, and it's just like, it's so freeing to just be able to just speak like who you are. I had a good surfer in the other day, and I was just like, dude, like, it's not about being like stiff, so you can't fucking enjoy your life. It's about when you're home, eat good, look after yourself, and then when you go away, like enjoy yourself. Get on the beers, enjoy, you know, be who you truly are, you know.
Life's there to have fun.
But your body, your carcass needs to be, you know, looked after. That's part of it.
Yeah.
So
it's that finding that alignment, eh? I think that's like the search that I've sort of been on. And it's like, and I honestly thought that once you're aligned to one thing, that's going to be you forever. And I thought like rugby was, you know, I felt aligned to it. And I was like, well, if I can't do rugby, it's got to be coaching. Then I've got to be keeping myself involved in the game.
yeah, yeah,
But I've realised that you can pivot and you can align yourself with something else that you feel more connected to, more passionate about, and it's okay to sort of pivot. You know, even though it's something completely different that you weren't doing before.
Yeah, well, your soul is guiding you.
Yeah,
yeah, because it feels right.
Yeah, and it did.
Yeah,
and I think that was the thing that got me, because I really struggled with external validation and wanting to be liked by people, and especially at school at Mountain Creek, I was like, all right, I want to be popular. I want the girls to like me, you know. And what happened in me trying to do that was that I started being a bit of a chameleon. So I would like change myself.
Yeah, to fit in.
To fit in.
Yeah.
If those girls like that music, oh, I love that music too. Like, Elliot, do you know how to surf? Fuck yeah, I know how to surf. Like,
for sure.
I just changed myself, and then all of a sudden, I still wasn't being liked. I still wasn't getting that external validation. I thought, why am I constantly putting on masks? And if I'm not even getting what I want out of it, I'm just losing myself even further.
Yeah.
And then that's when it really like clicked that I actually didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
You know, and then I guess that's a pretty deep question to ask yourself at 19 years old, is like, who am I?
Fuck yeah.
And you go, fuck, I don't even know where to start.
No.
But what does feel better is drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I sort of
why
like.
that is, eh? Yeah. Yeah,
and I
that's
think
crazy.
that's where I sort of like, that's where my sort of downfall came. But I think, you know, like you said, starting the business, what was the biggest challenges that you faced?
Yeah, definitely criticism.
Yeah,
I think like being the kind of loose street kid that was like a drunk basically, and then switching completely from that into like health and going 100% into health. I think just like completely shifting my way of life. I lost a lot of friends, and I lost a lot of people that I thought were my friends, and
full identity shift, eh?
Full identity shift, and now it's all balanced out. Now it's all like some of those friends have come back around, and I love them. But yeah, I mean that, and I still get it, man. Like putting yourself out there. I get jealous a little sometimes, like of other people doing really well, which I use as like a fuel, and I always like support them through it, because I'm like, yeah, that's just my shit.
That's not your shit. That's mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's been cool. So yeah, it's brung up for every level is another devil, eh? Like if you think you're gonna get through life and be completely fine, and I don't know. I don't think it's unless you're lucky enough to become enlightened in this life.
I think it's fool's gold, eh? If you think the problems are going to go away, and I think one of my biggest downfalls was thinking that a perfect life was having no problems. So I was just trying to like live this life and have no problems, and when life would throw you curveballs and things wouldn't go your way, you're thinking, like, what's wrong with my life? What am I doing wrong? Because I'm constantly getting these problems. Like, why do I keep having these problems? And it wasn't until later on in life when I realised it's not about not having any problems. It's about how to sort of how to deal with those problems when they come, and even like going a little bit step further and not even saying that they're problems, just understanding their opportunities to grow. Like every time something comes up,
beautiful,
like it's
so
opportunity for me to. I'm going to get better after this. I'm going to learn something about myself. If something triggers me, I'm like, that's something that I haven't healed yet. Let's go into that, because I know I'm going to be a better person afterwards, instead of like getting all, dwelling over the fact that, I have these issues in life. That's life.
Yeah,
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of life. Like,
I know, man. I know.
You got to have the good and the bad sometimes.
You do.
Yeah,
you do. I think it's so important to have that. And I know Paul talks about it. He goes, the more spiritual you become, like the higher your consciousness, the more you will attract problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the universe knows that you can handle a heavier load. So it's like flies. Yeah, like flies attract to the light. You know?
What's the vision for a corrective culture in the future? Do you have
Yeah, we want to create we do. We want to create like a huge gym, work-in, workout based, huge app, work-in, workout based, and just help as many people as possible. Keep the podcast going, grow our product line, and
I've got King.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's sick. And
it's true.
Yeah, dude, it's gnarly. It makes me aggressive, eh? Yeah, yeah. It's gnarly.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And oyster. Have you tried Enrich?
No, not yet.
I've got to
no.
give you some of that because
Yeah.
like King for me makes me like aggressive. You know.
Yeah, okay.
Like for people with
Yeah,
low
conquer the
testosterone,
world,
yeah,
yeah.
you just feel like fucking hell. Like you start looking at chicks walking by and shit, and you're like breathing a bit heavy and shit. But the other one, the oyster, that makes you like really horny. So
Oh,
it's like,
does it?
yeah, it's different, dude. It's like
That's a tough combo
it's
to
a
be.
fucking gnarly combo, eh?
Isn't it?
Man, gave it to one of my friends. He's like, man, I was like in my dream, and I was like, there's one chick there, and I was like orchestrating her to do that to her, and I was like, whoa. He's like, I don't have dreams like that at all. Like,
Probably should have tested this.
yeah. It's pretty nuts.
What's the biggest thing you see in people that are doing wrong that come and see you? Is it obviously a wide range of things, or is it specific thing? Is it? Yeah.
Well, if you're going body wise, I would say like kyphosis, like thoracic spine, just like that, and short hip flexors from sitting down. Think like the seated position for so many people, and being on laptops and stuff is really fucking our posture.
Yeah, the posture, big time.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing I see is people don't train posture. Functional patterns does. They kind of do. They train in that tonic. They hold enough time under tension to have tone in their muscles. But most people think that 12 reps is the same as holding a prone cobra for like a minute and a half, which is not.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing that I've taken away from you guys is all the gym work and all the, how I think I'm strong.
Yeah.
But then I've tried your posture bands that go around.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm thinking, am I been doing it wrong this whole time? Like my posture is so bad that when you actually have to activate these muscles that you're not used to, in the forward head tilt and everything, I'm thinking, this is like 30 years of bad posture that I'm trying to and all the muscles that you're not used to using.
Muscles get short and tight. Some get long and weak.
Yeah.
And I think that like, if you don't have an eye for that kind of thing, you can get very lost, and it's very quick to adapt. Like this chick, she's 6 weeks. She's been seeing me, man. She walked in yesterday, and her heart was just open, and her chest was up, and I was just like, she looks different, and her energy's different. Yeah. It's like,
she moves around the world differently,
dude. And she said it. I didn't even say it to her. I wasn't gonna even bring it up, but she was just like, I feel different. Like I feel like I'm like open, but I'm like scared because I'm too open. I don't like, and I was like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what's.
Yeah, it's like good.
You would see it so many times where you help the person, but then you talk to the person, and just because of your influence, it's changed relationships. It's probably changed work. It's changed things with family. Like just by those things,
it's a beautiful
affects
thing.
Everything in life, doesn't it?
It does, man, and that's why I love it. I think like we don't need to work. Me and Callan get paid enough now through our supplements and Corrective Culture that it's not like a heap. It's enough, Yeah. We don't need to take clients. Right. Yeah. We don't need to take clients. Yeah. So it's like, but what I did when I had like a month off taking clients, I was like bored, and I was like, I like helping people. So I really reconnected with why I'm here, and that is my path is to help people through not only mental emotional stuff, but to help people through their body, get their body right as well.
Is that what you believe is like, because people think like you're either born with a purpose or you can build your purpose?
Yeah.
What do you believe?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that if we're lucky enough to get a purpose,
this is your purpose.
Yeah, for sure. I know my purpose now for sure.
Yeah.
But in saying that, like, I don't know. Let's break it down. Like, you see a bunch of people who are just look like they're asleep. If you change their diet and you change them eating good food and not sick animals and not sick water and not actually, would they change? Because I know for me it didn't change overnight. Like, I didn't become a deeper human until I really started being conscious of what I was eating and drinking and what I was putting into my mind and stuff. So I don't know. I don't have the answer so much for that, but I think that if you have an inkling that there is a path that you should go down, you need to do that. Otherwise, it ain't a life worth living.
No, it's not, because you don't want to get to 50 and regret not going down that path of trying something.
For sure. And man, it could be like I got mates that are builders and they've just started their own businesses or sparky businesses, and they're just happy as fuck. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's your calling. It's personal. It's individual to you. That's what I love about Paul CHEK Spirit Gym, man. He teaches you to be an individual. He doesn't teach you to follow his path. It's like, what is your soul telling you to do in this life? And if you can't listen to that voice and you can't determine that voice from another one, then what are you doing?
I love that about him, because he talks about like, I've got no right to tell you. what your path is.
For sure.
It's your decisions, they're your choices to make.
Yep.
You should listen to that more than anyone. That should be the loudest voice you should listen to.
And it's a paradox too, because like someone will come and see you and they almost become reliant on you to make them feel good. But really, a good coach will show them how to eat and drink and live properly, and then say goodbye to them to go live their life and show other people. So it doesn't need to be this like co-dependent relationship.
You shouldn't need me.
Yeah, you shouldn't need me.
But your clients come to see you, you go, I don't want to see you again in the nicest way possible.
And that's what's been beautiful, because I think I was replacing my dad with Paul CHEK for a little bit.
Oh really?
Psychologically, I was like, I wanted him to be proud of me, even though I didn't know him, And then when I started going deeper through the courses, I was like, I actually don't care about that anymore. I feel like I just would be a friend, I don't even go into that anymore, which is cool. So it shows that I've evolved in a way of, I think Spirit Gym has taught me how to be an individual and ask myself, do I really want to go to Jessica's party, or do I want to stay home and have a cup of tea and relax?
Man, I think that's one of the greatest things you've learned too, because in a world of everyone trying to fit in and trying to be like everyone else or copy someone else, to be an individual, you would agree, when you meet someone or see someone who's 100% an individual, I get so attracted to that.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that individual. Fully, if I see someone and go, you're you, there's no one else like you. You might say some things that aren't normal, but what's normal these days? Like I gravitate towards people that are 100%. I fucking love it. And I try to hold on to those people as much as I can, and they almost give me even more permission to be my true self too.
Yeah.
Because I look at that and
100%.
go,
it's their Buddha field that's drawing you in.
Yeah, it is.
It's like that light we were talking about earlier.
That
You're
vibration,
like, what is that? I just want to be around that man. When you get around Paul CHEK, trust me, it's fucking
addictive.
It's like like Ram Dass talks about bringing Maharaji these gifts, and it's like that with Paul. You're like, what can I do for you, man? Like, I'll do anything. Like, just want to be around your energy. It's really like that, because he's done so much meditation, and you just want to be around that whole loving vibe. Everyone's very loving.
If people are listening now, go check him out, Paul CHEK. He's physically a specimen. Like,
he's a bit of a beast.
I think he's, what is he, 50, 60? What is he?
He's 64.
64. If you look at him, he's probably 32.
He's
biology age.
He's just very fit, very
changed your life,
man.
Honestly. Like I've consumed his content for the last couple of years, and I absolutely love it. I learned so much from him. Guys, check him out.
I'm so drawn to just say quickly, if you've got an injury or anything like that, and you're lost and you've seen physios, chiros, osteos and stuff like that, there's great ones of them, but they mainly isolate. Look up a good CHEK practitioner in Australia. Like, Callan, myself, Donald Carr, Jen Carden, Matt Sorensen in Sydney. Who else is there? I think that's about it. That I can think of off the top of my head. If you're in New Zealand, Susie Neville. But honestly, if you've got an injury that you cannot solve, you've got to see a CHEK practitioner. They'll be able to get to the bottom of it, and a good one, a level 4 and above.
100%. I talked about earlier on how the podcast started and sort of my own mental health struggles, and how this podcast became a bit of a healing journey for me, and allowing me to sort of share my story and then get people on to share their stories, and then almost building this community of people that are also, everyone's, on some level are fighting their own demons that we know nothing about. And it sort of allows me to, understand people that they try, if they cut you off at traffic or something triggers you, you can understand that like that person is probably dealing with something that I know nothing about. And it's okay to sort of like, go one ear out the other. What do you think is the biggest challenges you're facing in your life, if you want to talk about it?
Yeah, for sure. Biggest challenges I've faced would be 100% losing parents. Losing mum, from watching my mum die, a really slow, drawn-out cancer death from when I was 12 to 18. And then what else has been really tough? Probably my dad dying last year or the year before. That was fucking gnarly and a massive rite of passage.
In what way do you think?
Well, I spoke to him the day before he died, and he's like, if I got to go, like, he's a very spiritual man. And I worked on myself, he worked on himself, and he was my best friend. And then he died in the caravan, and just reading a book, and it was just like so surreal. Like, his girlfriend called me at like 12 at night and was fucking crying her eyes out, and she's like, something's happened, and left me a message. So I woke up to this message. But what was traumatic for me, not even traumatic actually, I should just say like what was fucking a very intense time in life was facing it head on, like seeing my dad's body, looking in his eyes, touching his head, all the things I was fucking terrified about. Like if you lose someone in your life, make sure you see the body. It helps bring it from the unconscious to the conscious.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And you realize that they're not there anymore because there's almost like this etheric feeling of like they're still here. But seeing the body and touching the body and praying for the body with your hands on it is the most powerful thing you'll ever experience.
What did it change in you?
The boy in me died a lot. I think the boy in me was like, okay, it's time to be a man. It's time to really step up and face this head on and fucking not hide from anyone or anything anymore. Yeah.
Right.
And that was cool. That was really cool, man. And my dad's death taught me that. And I think it's beneficial. And my dad he was like, the day before he was like, if I die, like, cause he had a sore heart from the vaccine.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he died from the vaccine. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
His second shot, and he was saying he had heart pain, and then he had an aortic aneurysm. And my doctor, who's a holistic doctor, was like, "Make sure you get an autopsy." And they didn't want to do an autopsy. And then I was like, "I want that autopsy," but his body was already getting sent back for the funeral, and it was just hectic, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that would be one of the most traumatic things that I've had to face for sure.
Was there any point in time where your sort of mental health needed attention?
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So not dealing with mum's death, it came out through my body through panic attacks and anxiety disorder. So man, I had panic attacks for like 3 or 4 years, just like just be sitting here right now and I'd just be like,
Get me out of here.
Someone fucking just like hit me with like a taser and my heart would start pumping and I felt like I was getting chased by a lion right here, right now.
How'd you get through that?
Paul CHEK, man.
Yeah.
It was a...
What a savior, Paul?
Dude, it was honestly like, I just know what it is. So just a quick story about it. My first one, I was watching, my mum had just passed maybe a year before. I was watching The Bone Collector. It was the middle of winter in WA.
Great movie.
Yeah, I'd never seen it. Yeah. And the chick that was lying in the hospital bed and she was sick. And if I remember correctly. And then I was like, I have cancer in my balls. That's the thought that came through my head. And I was like, and then I had this like intense adrenaline just go, and I was like, oh, fuck, like what's going on? I feel scared and I was alone and I was like, boom. And then I had an out of body experience and I was looking down on myself from above and I was like, I fucking lost my mind. Oh no, I'm fucked. Called my dad and dad's a very spiritual man. He's like, they're just spirits, man. Just relax, breathe. I was like, spirits? There's fucking spirits. I was freaking out. I went for this long walk, called my friend. This is a long story short. Called my friend. He comes in, he goes, you better not be pranking me, dude. And I was like, no, I'm not, man, I'm fucked. Comes, picks me up. I roll in, he rolls in to pick me up in his Commodore and I'm laying on my back and I was praying to mum. I was like, please show me a sign that I'm going to be all right. And I looked up and I saw a duck's beak and it had mud on its beak. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is there, like, I'm hallucinating. Like I just had an out of body experience. So I was like, I'm seeing shit. And then anyway, I walked to the car and I look out and there was like 12 ducks walking towards the car, following me to the car. In my apartment complex, just out the front of the driveway. Yeah. Yeah, I got my friend can vouch for this, dude. It was a fuck, and he goes, why are all those ducks there, dude? Anyway, I go to the thing. I tell the emergency ward, I'm like, I've got ball cancer. I'm dying. They go, you're having a panic attack. You've got anxiety. Here's some Valium. That chilled me out. I woke up in the morning, hardly slept. And my girlfriend at the time, Kim, she came over and she had a cutout of a duck and said, oh, this is your birthday. This is your star sign for the month. And it was a picture of a baby duck.
Dude.
And it had a message. And I've still got the cutout somewhere. I can't remember what the message said, but it was fucking nuts.
It's all connected. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, that was trippy, bro.
Yeah, it was trippy.
That was trippy. And it still freaks me out thinking about it because I'm like, what was that duck doing there? And why was it on my like, I lived there for like 2 years. I'd never seen a duck.
Yeah.
So I don't know what,
So
there must be some magic in the world.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously sort of getting yourself out of that mental health sort of struggles, was it? A lot of
facing things. I think talking to people, facing things, and don't bottle things up. I think if you can talk to people and actually cry, like you might need to cry for a year every day. Like sometimes you need to just cry and let things out. What I can say, man, is like I learned the most valuable lesson from that. When Dad died, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna feel this, 100%, man. And at the funeral, I was crying tears that I didn't know I could cry. I had fucking my I felt them coming from deep inside my soul. Like I was like, oh, like it was coming from my soul plexus. That's where grief is stored.
Yeah.
And I just healed so quick, man. And now I feel my dad around me. Like it's bizarre. I know it sounds crazy.
I love that.
It sounds crazy,
that.
but if you can fully just go for it, like it'll change your life. And I wish I knew that earlier. I wish someone had told me that when Mum was passing, because then I wouldn't have had to. I mean, you got to go through your journey, right?
I think you find that there's always like everything. Not only everything happens for a reason, but everything happens the way it's meant to happen.
Yes.
Do you believe that?
I know. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say earlier when you said about if sorry to bring it up, like about how you had a rough upbringing with your dad and you didn't know how to express love and all that. It's like that made you start this podcast. That's what brought you here today. It's like, you know what I mean? That brought out the.
I had to say thank you.
Yeah.
And be grateful in a uplifting way that Dad, I'm so sorry that you went through that childhood and everything, all that things happened to you. But I love the person I am.
Yeah,
And if you didn't go through that, and if you handled it any other way, I wouldn't have gone through my own shit, and I wouldn't have to start this podcast.
Yeah.
And my life would look completely different. I love the person that I am.
Yeah, for sure.
So the resentment or the little boy in me that was hurt growing up had to come to terms and go, you know what?
Yeah.
You got to let go of that and almost thank him. Even though you were hurt, the little boy.
Yeah, for sure.
And you want revenge and you want to be like, no, like, where was the fucking love? Like, I needed that fucking love.
Yeah.
The adult version of me is telling that little boy, like, I know that you didn't get it growing up, but I've got you now.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And I've read this book called Internal Family Systems, and I'm not too sure if you read it. And it talks about we've all got an internal family inside of us, and when you get triggered or things that pop up in your life that make you go, oh, what's going on there? It's the little version of you that didn't get validated or didn't get the love, the attention, whatever it is. And it teaches you to have open dialogue with that little version of you. So when it comes up, I'm like, yeah, mate, I get it. You're anxious. I get it. No one was there. You're bullied or, no one had your back, but I'm letting you know right now that I've got your back.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
instead of like trying to block it out, just bring him with you. And like, Gabor Mate is a big sort of mentor for me.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And he talks about like, don't shy away from those things, those moments where you feel anxious. Like it's a little version of you, bring him up on stage with you. If you get nervous, doing your podcast, bring him on with you. Don't just put him in the cupboard and try to pretend like he's not here.
Yeah.
Sit him right next to you and say you're part of the journey too.
Yeah.
That was a massive sort of...
That's massive.
Yeah.
That's massive, dude. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I love that.
You've really integrated it well,
Yeah.
and that's like, you've almost had your own rite of passage, but I think important for other men to hear that and ask yourself, are you still a boy? Or have you turned, are you stepping into the next phase of life, which is a king archetype? Are you starting to, what would a king do? King's a man. King's had his rite of passage and he can raise a family, but he can also be faithful to people around him and empathetic to people around him and feel different things and
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's important, like if on Spiritism they talk about like the wheel of the archetypes, and you basically go from the fool, a child, all the way around to the son, which is, it's a long, and you have to go through every one of those archetypes to become a king, basically.
You can't skip any.
You can't skip any, but what I see is like there's a lot of people that are still in the boyhood.
Oh, dude.
My toy, your toy.
Yep.
My girl, your girl. Obviously, that's...
No, but it's true. Like I can, comfortably say, as a 30-year-old, I was still a boy. I was still an immature, unregulated, scared, anxious boy that didn't want to go through any hardship or didn't want to go through anything scary or feel uncomfortable. I just wanted to live the comfortable life, and that it took me a long time to realize that that was my downfall. Like I needed to go through something, get out the other side, and become a man and understand. Like there's so many of us that are adults, but living as little kids.
Yes, for sure. I think they did some crazy study on it in the States where it's like, like 80% of people never really grow up over the age of 12, like psychologically, that is. Yeah.
You'd see it, like I see it a lot, especially out in the mines. I see a lot of older people that are sort of bickering, and I'm thinking, are we in preschool at the moment?
Yeah,
like, what's the go
sure.
here? Like we've all got bigger things going on in our lives. Like what's the thing?
Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
So I've just got some quick fire questions to finish off.
Shit, yeah.
So you can answer these as quickly as long as you
Yep.
like.
Yep.
What's your definition of success?
Cool. Yeah, my definition of success would be feeling peaceful within your own self and your soul and knowing why you're here. I think that is true success. Having kids is true success. Having a family, and being peaceful. Number one, being peaceful inside yourself.
Yeah, I love that. What are your 3 non-negotiables for living a healthy and full life? Your top 3 pillars.
Top 3 non-negotiables would be good quality water. If you're eating animals, which is another being, make sure they're organic and had a good life. And then, do self-inquiry. Without a doubt, you have to self-inquire. So you have to do at least a couple sits a week where you sit and you self-inquire and ask yourself how you're feeling, how your body's feeling, how your mind's going.
Love that. What's one thing that you would tell your younger version?
God, meant to be these questions because I thought about this morning because I did this video with this letter to my kids when I was 24.
Really?
And I was thinking about it and I was like, fuck, that's right. It's on my hard drive somewhere. It's crazy, dude. I was
love
24
that.
and I'm 36, so 12 years ago.
So have you watched it back?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I know. I'm too cringy to watch it. I'm like, fuck.
It will be though.
Yeah.
You should do that every 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, fully. Yeah. I'm keen to see it. I'm gonna when I can sit there with my son, I'll
And just see the development and the change and see that little because even though it's been 10 years, man, I swear as soon as you watch it, you go, it might even put you back to that time in your life and bringing things up.
Yeah, it was just after HSC2 with Paul. So when I started, and I remember thinking like, I've got it all figured out, and I probably think I do now, and I fucking don't. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, but that's like that Matthew McConaughey speech when he talks about his heroes 10 years in the future. Like that's just a cool thing to keep on chasing. Is
that's
just like
sick,
I'll never be my hero.
Yeah.
But it'd always be that one step ahead of me. But that just gives you something to keep on chasing. So every 10 years, improve, get better. Constantly grow.
Magic, dude. That's it. I love Matthew McConaughey's book.
Same,
his books are insane. But yeah, advice to my younger self would be just slow down mainly, breathe. I think meditation is the biggest gift in the world. I think that everyone should be doing at least 10 minutes a day. So I think to my younger self, I would say meditate more and express love in a better, healthier way. And maybe just love a little deeper and don't close your heart off so much.
What's been your hardest day?
Hardest day, fuck. Oh, dude, probably breaking my leg. That was fucking so hard to go through. That just like snapping it and my bone went through the trampoline skin and feeling that.
Did it?
Yeah, it got stuck in the trampoline skin and put a hole in it. Yeah, at the Big Boing on the Gold Coast. I would say that would have to be my hardest day for sure. Because I had my friend Tommy Noonan was there and he came for a bit, but for the 4 days after that, I sat in hospital alone. I went through surgery alone and I sat there alone. And that was the biggest rite of passage, man, to feel that pain and feel that all alone.
Not just the physical, but that mental side of an injury.
Oh, I was just I was released. I cried for 4 days straight. I was just releasing.
Yeah.
Because I knew, as soon as I broke my leg, I was like, I know what this is about. I'm not going the direction that I need to go in life.
Do you think it was a calling?
100%.
The universe telling you?
100%, yeah. As soon as I broke it, I looked up at my friend Nick Perry and I said, I know what this is about. That's the first words that came out of my mouth.
Man, fuck, I resonate with that so much because I broke my leg.
Oh, shit.
I broke my leg at the time where I didn't want to play rugby anymore.
Yeah.
And I was, how you're sort of half-assing it. You're kind of thinking, I'm not fully committed, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in that limbo stage where I'm kind of like, well, that's all I know. I'll just keep sort of going with it. And I didn't listen to the cues of like, you're not passionate about it, you don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
You're still young, you got a whole life ahead of you, just pivot, right? And I got called into a rugby tournament that I wasn't meant to play in, but they just called me up, they need another player, just sit on the bench, and I'm like, yeah, sweet, no worries. First game, snapped my tib and fib in half.
Oh my God.
And with a syndesmosis, tore all the ligaments around my ankle, out for 12 months, and I'm just thinking, what the fuck? And now I look at it now, and check this out, when I was living in Sydney, got injured, moved back to the sunny coast, did all my rehab back here, met my wife, married for 8 years, got a kid on the way, And I just think to myself, I would never have met her. I met her through a mutual friend. She just broke up with her boyfriend, and like how life and the timeline works that we had met. The only reason we met because I moved back to the sunny coast, and I just think, you know, I love every part of my life right now. That if I didn't break my leg, where would I have been?
Greatest thing that ever happened to you.
Greatest thing, it honestly is.
It is.
It really is those blessings you love.
I think the exact same, man.
Yeah?
Honestly, like it slowed me down. I can't run anymore. I can't sprint because my leg's fucked, but I can still deadlift 200 kilos.
Yeah,
you know?
same. Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not too bad, but it's also like it's slowed me down.
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
I'm fucking grateful.
What's your proudest moment?
Proudest moment of my life was winning my first Australian title, I reckon, so far. Yeah. I won because I had lost 2, and then I won an Australian title bodyboarding, and I just let out a bunch of a happiness emotion because it was for my mum. So I was like, I was just like, crying in happiness, and that, and then surfing big waves. I don't know, like the highs that you have surfing big waves are fucked because it just lifts you up so high. Honestly, the only thing that's come close is lifeguarding and saving a life.
Oh, I can imagine.
That's the only thing that comes close to riding big waves.
So have you saved a life lifeguarding, have you?
Yes. Yeah, I've saved 2 kids. Let's just say, like, it's hard to say if I know if I saved their life, but they were in a rip and they were getting sucked out to sea, and I just got to them in time and grabbed one leg, one arm, and we were under the water getting fucking thrown around and thrashed. And if I had to let go, I think there's a good chance that, you know, one probably would have drowned.
It doesn't take long either.
No.
It does not take long.
No, and they were panicking, and you could see their eyes just starting to roll back in their head. And then I rescued these guys off a boat that flipped once. So I would say,
like no other way.
It was a very like, I was just like, fuck, this is like getting in a fight. This is that adrenaline that I love. You know?
2 more for you. Who's your hero?
Fuck. It's hard not to say Paul CHEK after today.
After today.
Dad.
Yeah, your
dad.
Yeah,
dad for growing, man. I really couldn't get into it this podcast, but dad was a very reactive. He was touched by his family growing up. He had a very open, listen to our podcast on Corrective Culture with my dad. Very interesting, but he was touched by his whole family. So he had a very sexual, confusing time growing up, and he was a very hard man. He was almost like underbelly Melbourne kind of crew. And then later in life, he did a full 180 and became a spiritual, I would say, monk. Yeah.
What a cool journey to witness your dad on, Like,
dude, it was sick. I was so proud of him because I saw how much work he did, and I truly believe that's allowed me the freedom in this life to do the work myself as well.
What a beautiful message too, that it's never too late. It's never too late to change. He
was 54, 55 when he did a 180, man. Yeah. So cool, man.
So cool. And last one. Yeah. What do you believe makes a good man?
Yeah, that's a good one. What do I believe makes a good man?
Yeah.
Being vulnerable and being humane and understanding, like stepping into your king and being a good man, but knowing that you also know better than the pauper on the street, because we're all one thing. And I think that we're all one consciousness on this earth, and no one's better than someone else. And we're all here to just raise the vibration, you know? Yeah, so I think a good man is someone who can really delve into that and know their purpose, but be a king and help people, man.
Love that. I'm just going to finish with a quote from Paul.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most painful challenges you're working through turn out to be exactly what delivers the gifts that ultimately help you show up, help others, and help the world. And I think that sums up you perfectly, mate.
Oh, cheers, brother. Yeah, well, as Paul would say, and I like to finish on, is aho, great spirit.
I do have a little surprise for you.
Yeah.
So I've got a closing tradition of the podcast where I don't ask the last question.
Yeah, sick.
I hope you're okay with this.
Yeah.
So we've got so friends and family sending questions for you.
Fuck yeah.
So who we got today?
I got 2 questions for Stoney.
Callan.
Which client stands out? Like, what's the coolest client you've had, like, result? You know, if someone was, like, just really messed up and the work really helped them and that made you feel good. And another one that we've spoken about, but I feel like a lot of people can speak about, is, like, what advice have you give to someone that have just lost their father or their mother? Because how you were talking about
Fitting.
seeing the body at the funeral and things like that. Just, that's something that a lot of people need advice with.
Cool.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, Callan. Thank you, brother. I love that. So the first one,
Cool. Sorry about it.
the first one was, which client have I changed the most?
Yeah, it stands out to you the most. Yeah.
one lady that I had who had like chronic back issues for a number of years, and I was early check days, and she came in to see me, and I was getting doing some hands-on her back, and then I got her to do this hip spine integrator, which is a Moshe Feldenkrais exercise, and she had a massive emotional release, and her back pain left and never came back.
Really?
Yeah, on the spot.
Crazy.
But I mean, recently I had a girl who I love who came in, and she had a hip problem for a year and a half, and she had seen everyone under the sun, and was just feeling really defeated. And she came in, and I just strengthened everything around the hip because she tore her labrum, and I kind of got her hip into a better position, and then strengthened it, got her core to work, made sure her atlas and eyes and jaw everything were all right, and she was out of pain in like 2.5 weeks, man. After a year and a half of like solid pain.
It must be a good feeling.
Yeah,
Like
I just feel like
changing people's lives.
Yeah, for sure. And it's very rare. I've made mistakes. Like there's a guy who had a broken neck, and I gave him a neck exercise that went for too long, and it kind of brought on some nerve pain and stuff. And then I had this other guy who was a bit unhappy with me because I released his hamstrings when I probably shouldn't have at the time, which I didn't know enough. But my intention's always been good, and they're the only two that I have had any problems with out of probably 200 clients. I've managed to change most people's life, which I'm very proud of and very happy about, man. Because like, it's not just the body; it's the emotions, it's what you're drinking and what you're eating. So,
we have touched on what advice you would give to someone that lost their parents. That was the second part of the question.
The second one, yeah. So
we have touched on it.
Yeah. I guess we kind of went into it in depth, but yeah, face it fucking head on. Yeah, don't shy away from a little bit of grief and a little bit of pain.
Got one more.
Yep.
One more for you. Last
Sick.
one. We got. I
love it.
I think it's dry.
Jinxie.
Yeah, El Jinxie. What do you say here?
Yeah, Stoney. I got a question for you. It's Dewey. Known each other for 23 or 24 years now, and I've obviously watched you transition through a lot of stages of most of your life, and I have seen you have your mental health issues and overcome them. Huge ones, obviously. The big ones being losing both your parents, and watching you handle that was obviously pretty gnarly. Just for the people listening, what 3 tools would you give anyone trying to overcome huge situations like that in regards to mental health, and how will you go forward in the next chapter of your life, being a father in a few months?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, cool. So I guess like the first 3 we kind of covered. So he was kind of asking how I dealt with parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we kind of covered that in the podcast. But being a father, I think, will be so fucking challenging.
Yeah. You're well, we're both looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But is there anything that you want to take out from your parents, and especially your dad, and how you want to sort of translate to you being a dad? Because I think we all just pick and choose what things we want to keep, and then what things we sort of want to let go of and do our own way.
Yeah.
What would be some things that you want to?
Yeah, I think
do your way.
Just before I move on to, I almost get emotional hearing Jai, because because he's such a good friend of mine, and like I could tell he's coming from the soul there. So I appreciate that, Jinxie. But yeah, I think he's seen me really evolve through losing parents and stuff like that. So it's
good to have a good inner tribe.
Yeah,
it's always going to be.
He's the man, dude. Love him, love him, and he's grown so much too. So proud of that cunt. Yeah. Anyway, moving forward with a child, dude, honestly, I think it's going to be like the biggest fucking lesson ever. And I don't know how. I'm actually really nervous, so please send me your love and your messages if you hear this podcast, dude. Because like, so far it's been so stressful, like even like saving money, I'm thinking about the future, and I'm like, fucking hell, like, and then it puts strain on the relationship. It puts strain on like, it's fucking already showing its signs of like, okay, this isn't about me anymore. This is a whole bigger thing.
Yeah, it almost teaches you, because a lot of mates would be like, you think you want to go to gym at this time and you want to do this at this time, mate. You can still do those things, but you're on your kids' time now.
Yeah.
Like you've got to work around. It's not about you anymore.
Yeah,
both of you are about sort of keeping this being alive, because it needs us. It needs it so much. But like there are sort of a couple of things that I wanted to change for myself before I had kids, really. And I think doing that into work and understanding that I'm not going to pass these things on to my kids. Like, it's okay, you know, that these things, if they come up in my kids, I'll know what to do because I've been through it myself. And also like learning that emotional regulation and when I was a kid, I didn't know, you know, half the emotions or putting, you know, words to emotions. So there were a number of things that I kind of like was really adamant on in implementing when I'm a dad.
Dude, I think your kid will teach you so much, and it's so hard to really put into words or describe what he's going to teach. He's going to teach you. It's a she, eh?
It is.
Yes, so yeah, dude, that's the beauty of it. It's the unknown, and I almost get this kid-like feeling for both of us, like that energy's coming back, dude.
It
like
is.
that kid energy, and I think I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
I'm excited to show how beautiful this world can be. You know what I mean? And also, I'm going to try and walk the tightrope of being a disciplined father that teaches him how to train and wants him to be a professional surfer and wants to be a professional whatever you want to be, but also allowing them to figure their own journey out and stuff like that. Because I don't want to be a dad who's like, you have to do this, you have to. I will love my kid no matter what he wants to do. But that's the lesson too. It's like
the pull CHEK learning is it's your journey.
It's his journey, man. He's a soul coming here. I'm helping him get here, but
I'll guide him.
I don't want to be too detached, you know. I want to be like a little bit like I want to guide him, but also, man, my dad was a fucker to me, and I am so grateful for that because it allowed me to be a hard bastard. Now I feel like. Now I'm like, okay, I got this.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to install that into my son.
Mate, honestly,
I want him to fucking do that.
You'll be such a good dad, and I'm really looking forward to you. So you'll be, you should be really proud of yourself.
And if I disappear, guys, I'm in Mexico.
Jake, thank you so much for coming on today, mate. I really appreciate it. I love chatting with you. Love to get to know you on a more personal level too, and have these chats, man.
We've got to catch up outside the podcast too, right?
You're a good dude. You're doing amazing things with Corrective Culture. And good luck with fatherhood, mate. We're in the trenches together.
Much love, dude. Fucking oath.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Mind Your Head. If you'd like to support the show, be sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts. It really supports the show and helps others discover us. Don't forget to join us on Instagram and TikTok at mindyourhead.podcast. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we record this podcast, the Gubbi Gubbi people. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Indigenous peoples. We honour their enduring connection to the land, waters and culture, and recognise their invaluable contributions they make to our communities. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.